bird just wouldn't sleep, and I was so tired, and I had to ring my mum up and I said, can you just come and take her away so I could sleep? So that was, my mum was on hand at some point.
And there's nights and nights and nights he'd sort of wake up every 45 minutes, an hour, and then just sleep for an hour, and then wake up and then sleep for an hour. And it would go on for weeks, and there were days that I would just think, I can't do this anymore. And I found that it actually helps if you go out and meet up with people and do things.
Yeah, I needed caffeine on tap. I mean, it is so tiring, it is exhausting, but you do get through it. You just think if you go in with an open mind that you know you're going to be exhausted, you know you are not going to have sleep for at least 8 to 12 weeks. If you go in knowing that, you cope with it. Yeah, you manage.
We used to go clubbing until 3 or 4 o'clock in the night, and the day after we were all in the office at 9. So if we could cope with that, why can't we cope with the baby crying and wanting your attention? It's exactly the same hours of sleep. So what's the problem?
You know, when you go clubbing, you know, you don't have to plan anything for the next morning. Yeah. You know that you can sleep, but with the child, you have no idea whether they're going to wake up in the middle of the night.
I just used to sleep in between jobs, in cars going to and from jobs, or in hotels overnight, or the next day to move on to the next job. So the sleep deprivation wasn't mine, it was my wife's. She was constantly cream-crackered, absolutely knackered.
You know, one morning I wake up, went downstairs, it was 5:30, and you were sleeping on the couch, and the kid was playing with his cars on the carpet just alone, and you were just sleeping. So no matter what strategy you have, most likely you won't succeed if you really feel sleep deprived.
Earplugs, they really, you can still hear him crying, but it doesn't kind of tear you apart. It doesn't kind of go right through you. So yeah, for me, the earplugs have been my saviour.
And I think and I say this from someone who wasn't very good at it, but resisting the temptation to kind of rush straight in is definitely something you learn to do.
We will always remember when she
first night, yeah.
First time she slept through.
With that, yeah, we were a bit worried when we woke up in the morning.
Yeah, I think she'd had about 8 hours, and I couldn't believe when I got up about 7, 8 o'clock that she was still asleep. And I got in my car, still just in awe. I couldn't believe that she was still asleep, and I reversed into the car behind me. So that was a nice claim that we had to put through.